us have been through this scenario. You meet somebody, chemistry is amazing. You're in a whirlwind and your emotions are everywhere. You just know you really, really like this person. You find yourself with them, and then you're a couple, and that like turns to love. Doesn't matter what red flags you see, even though you see red flags, you ignore them. Even though your friends are telling you to look out and to watch out, and your family is like, I don't know about him or her, you stay with them because you love them, you believe them, you trust them, and that person is telling you you don't have anything to worry about. It's fine, everything's okay with us, I love you. And your heart is involved. It's too late. You believe them. And you feel okay about believing them. And you feel okay about ignoring your mind when it tells you, hey, maybe we should slow down a little bit. And then that day comes where the truth of that person that you love so much, the evidence of what they've been doing behind your back is so overwhelming, you cannot ignore it anymore. And so y'all break up. And even though breaking up is the right thing to do, it is the absolute worst thing to do. It's the most painful thing to do at that moment in time. And that is how it is waking up from Watchtower. Times 100. Times 100. Hey, I'm good. How you doing? No dollar bills. That's exactly how it is waking up from Watchtower.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's the best way I can describe it. And for the past few months, especially last year when I first started waking up, oh my God. The depression, the anxiety, the confusion, the hurt, the sitting on the couch all day, crying your eyes out. That's how it really is when you start waking up and realizing the truth about the truth. It ain't nothing easy about it. It's nothing soft about it. It's horrible. It's the worst breakup ever. Ever. And I'm still going through that process. Last year I was a mess. There's no other way to say it. You're a mess. When you realize everything you gave up because you really believed it was the truth. I really believed I had the truth. I had my life set. I made sacrifices knowing I was doing the right thing, that I was being obedient to Jehovah. All of that. So when I started waking up mentally, it was just like I couldn't even think straight. I quit my job. I couldn't even focus and concentrate on my responsibilities because all I can look up and think about and just ruminate over was the lies that I had been told my whole life with this organization, the organization that I surrendered some opportunities. We all did. Come on. The schools I could have went to, I didn't want to go to those schools because I couldn't put kingdom interests first, so I didn't go to those schools. The contracts that got thrown at me. I had modeling contracts I refused for Watchtower. Are you kidding me? Lucrative opportunities, like, nope, I'm going to put kingdom interests first. I believe in what Watchtower has said. Armageddon is going to happen any moment. The Great Tribulation is going to happen. I want to show Jehovah that I am 100% loyal to him. I don't want anything to do with the world, so I don't want anything to do with these opportunities. Yes, I gave them up. The men I could have dated and married. Famous people. People that y'all watch play football, NFL. I had 2 NFL players. 2 NFL players that pursued me, and I turned them down. Why? They don't worship Jehovah. I'm loyal to Jehovah. Oh my gosh, that stuff starts coming back up when you realize that this is all a sham. And I'm not supposed to be mad. I'm sitting in here looking the boy up, trying to see if he's still single. Nope. He married, happily married, 3 kids. They're my kids. Come on. I'm not supposed to be upset about that? How my life could have been totally different? Understanding that this doomsday message that I thought was the absolute truth was nothing but absolute bullshit. I was sitting on my couch half of all last year just depressed, okay? That's the truth about waking up. You depressed. Emotionally, you ain't right. You crazy. You gonna be crazy. You just starting to wake up. Woo, buckle your seatbelt, honey. You going on a ride. It feel like you get flung in the outskirts of the universe and you just free floating. How to feel, you don't even know how you're supposed to feel. You don't even know how you're supposed to think. You just really trying to sit there and understand how you were so stupid for so long. And then the things that you sacrifice bubble back up, and it happens when you're not even expecting it. I would be in the grocery store sometimes and just start crying. And I'm like, dang, am I coming on my period? No. Did I just have a bad conversation with somebody? No. Like, why am I so emotional? And then I retrace my steps, and it always comes back to a moment of Watchtower. And I would just cry. And then physically, you messed up too. I let myself go last year. I was so depressed. I've never felt depression like that like the depression you feel when you start waking up. I'm an active person. I'm a fitness trainer. I was on my couch for months. I got so emotionally distraught, my back went out. Me, I used to Olympic lift, like CrossFit, all that stuff. That's what I do. Got a strong body. My back went out of nowhere. I was on the couch for a solid 4 weeks, and I could not figure out where that debilitating back pain was coming from. And when I researched it, I'm gonna try to leave some references. I may not though. Don't quote me on that. I may not. But like back pain can be very psychosomatic, meaning that it comes from repressed emotions that we haven't been able to feel, especially rage. And when you start waking up from the truth and realize the truth about the truth, all you feel is rage. You just feel mad. I was just so mad and sad at the same time, and I didn't know how I would feel from any given moment. That's the truth about the truth. That's the truth about waking up. It's not all glamorous. Yeah, I may make a video and seem like I got it all together. I still cry about the fact that them men lied like that for all this time. That they've been involved with all this evil shit for all this time. That I sacrificed like my life could have been so different, so much better, the life that I would choose to have, but I listened to them and they just lying and destroying people's lives and their families like that, and that I was actually duped to believe it for that long. Fuck yeah, I'm mad. Yeah, I'm mad about it. I tried to make a video a few weeks ago talking about the good things about the truth. I couldn't even do it. You know why? Because it don't matter. Just like when you literally break up with somebody. When you first breaking up with somebody, you don't go around town telling your friends about all the good qualities they have. You put them on blast. You talk about all the stuff you didn't like, all the stuff you didn't appreciate. I'm not about to sit here and give Watchtower no praise when they done stole and snatched my life and opportunities away. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, but I ain't talking about no good right now, because this shit is all ugly to me as far as I see it right now. I got that right. I have that right. This is part of my process, is all I'm trying to say. It's a part of the process of recovering. It's a part of the process of healing. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to understand it. And you ain't got to accept it. But it is what it is. And I'm going to recover from Watchtower. Watchtower ain't going to snatch no more in my life. Watchtower done took enough. And I have the right, growing up in the truth, I have the right to say anything I want to say about Watchtower, because I surrendered everything for Watchtower. I have that right. Can't nobody take that away from me. Leave your little comments if you want to. I'm going to say what I want to say about Watchtower, because I at least deserve that much. It's like emotional reparations over here. I deserve to at least say, I can talk my shit about Watchtower and it be true. Anyway, for the record, I spent years giving Watchtower praise. What you think the ministry is for? What you think the door-to-door ministry is for? What do we tell people when we go to door-to-door ministry? Oh, how wonderful the organization is, how loving the worldwide brotherhood is, how refreshing it is to understand the Bible and have biblical truth, how happy we are to have a hope for the future and understand what Jehovah's purpose is for the earth. We said that to people, and I was a pioneer. I said that to people 80 hours a week, or 80 hours a month rather. 20 hours a week, 80. I always try to get my time early because I wanted to finish out my service year because I wanted to go on vacation. So I did 80 hours a month. So come on. I done spent enough time telling people about how great the organization is. Now it's my turn to say what I want to say about them. Especially the negative. It's an ugly process, and people need to understand and know about that. I am hurt. I am still hurt by this whole thing. Doesn't make sense now. Shit. Like, this is easy. There is nothing about awakening that is easy. It is the absolute worst breakup ever. You just out of it. You don't know who the hell you are. You don't know what the hell you want. You don't even know what to believe in anymore, because it's not just about losing your religion. You lose your whole belief system. You lose your whole identity. We based our lives off of the fact that we're Jehovah's Witnesses. Every single decision that we make is based off the fact I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. So when you strip that away, it's like, well, I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I want. I don't know who I should be. I don't know what to believe. You got to go through all of that. And it leaves you fucked up, for lack of better words. Pardon my French. But it leaves you messed up. You just going to be crying and stressed out and anxious. And then you got all the practical things you lose, like relationships change, especially all your JW relationships. That changes instantly, because you can't even relate to your family and JW friends the way you used to, because you know what's up. You finally know what's up. You don't have nobody to turn to. When I first started waking up, I didn't know how big the EXJW community was. I felt like I was the only one. And that just added insult to injury, right? Like, I'm like, bruh, I'm out of my mind. And let me say this for the record, the EXJW community has been like my saving grace. Why my Bluetooth not working? I've had people, EXJWs, reach out to me that they've been my saving grace. Do you hear me? They've been my saving grace. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for their words of encouragement and just normalizing my experience. You don't ever come to me. Whoa. I don't think I would have made it. Because when I tell you you just lost, you just mad, you just sad. I probably cried every day for 3 weeks at least. And I'm being very conservative in my estimation. Very conservative, because I cried a lot. I was so sick. Eating all kind of crap. Back went out. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm learning stuff. I can't tell my mom because she's still an active JW. You know what I'm saying? I can't relate this to nobody. I'm lost and all alone by myself. And for it all to come down to the fact that these ain't nothing, the organization ain't nothing but like every other corporation. It's a group of men looking out for their own interests. But the consequences of following these men when the consequences of following the governing body is so catastrophic, and people just won't get it unless they are JW. Because when you try to tell, like I tried to tell some worldly associates that let me stop calling them worldly, okay? Loaded language needs to stop. When I tried to tell some of my work associates like what I have been going through, when I say it, it sounds so trivial. It sounds so stupid. It's like, okay, that's what you believe. Don't believe that no more. Like, but it's just so deep. It's so much deeper than that. It's just so complicated. It's so many layers to peel back. And all the rage, you just gonna be mad too. All the rage comes back. You just think about things you just didn't do for Watchtower that you should have did to improve your life, to make your life better. We got this life we live in now. Watchtower got us perpetually thinking that it's just something or somebody just gonna come swoop in and make everything absolutely wonderful and gorgeous. Just hold out for the real life, hold out for paradise. The life you live in right now, that is the real life. You better make it how you want it. And you can't get those years back. You mourn. It's a mourning process, awakening. It's a mourning, because you have to put to death all that you could have been. You have to realize that you missed those chances, you missed those years, those opportunities, those relationships, you missed them, and that you were robbed of them, and you have to bury them, like put them to rest and mourn that. And then you gotta mourn the relationships you're about to lose when you wake up, because you know you ain't gonna be no JW for too much longer. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put to rest all your hopes. You gotta mourn that. Like the things I used to hope for when I really was a active JW and I really was buying everything that I was being sold. It's like, oh, so I'm not waiting to live forever in paradise. I'm not gonna have a pet giraffe. I'm not gonna have a pet dolphin. I want my pet dolphin. Like that used to sustain me on Saturday mornings. I didn't want to go out in service. Like, you know what? It's gonna be all good. Let me go out in service because paradise gonna be here soon, and I'm gonna have all my pet animals. I'm gonna have my perfect body and all of that. Like, I'm gonna be able to live forever with the people that I love. Like, that's what kept me going. So you telling me that ain't real either? So I gotta mourn that? It's crazy. Sorry about the camera. It's every emotion you couldn't feel because of Watchtower, it comes back to you all at once. So it's a lot. It is the absolute worst breakup ever. It takes you out the game. So just anybody out there that's watching, that's going through the process, hey, I get it. I sympathize with you. I feel you. You can reach out to me if you need someone to talk to, and you know I'm going to keep your stuff discreet. I don't report to the elders. I don't report to nobody. You can tell me whatever you need to tell me, okay? And for anybody who has never been a JW or has gone through this process, if you know people, family members, friends, workmates, work associates, whatever, that's going through this, please just take it easy on them. I'm telling you, they not they self right now. Like they really on something else and they can't help it. Please be patient with them. Please be understanding. Just have a listening ear and just let them vent. And don't let nobody dictate how your process should look. Okay? Can't nobody tell you how angry you should be, how sad you should be, how depressed you should be. Can't nobody tell you about your process. You go through what you gotta go through. It affects all of us differently. Some of us, it hurts a little bit more because maybe some of us had to give up a little bit more for Watchtower than somebody else. So maybe it hurt a little different. Huh? How about some empathy? How about some concern and some compassion? I give that to anybody going through this process. You ain't even got to explain it to me, honey. I get it. I understand. Girl, be sad. Cry if you want to. Ben and Jerry's, eat the whole thing. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Write in your journal. Do what you have to do, and do it however much you want to do it, because this right here, this awakening process ain't no joke. And I am by no means exaggerating when I tell y'all that I still get worked up and torn up and emotionally out of sorts thinking about this bullshit. To lie like you gonna lie like that. Dang, that's evil. I don't care what nobody say, it's evil. And I don't want nobody telling me to say nothing good about Watchtower. I ain't got nothing good to say about Watchtower. What did you want me to say? What do you want me to say about Watchtower? Oh, what about the good stuff? What about it? I already told you, I done spent years telling people about the good stuff about Watchtower. That's like a girl, since there's so many abductions going on in Atlanta and around the world, really. Let's talk about it real quick. I have an analogy, I have a metaphor, I have an example. Imagine a girl getting abducted and made into a sex slave. She turned into a sex slave against her will. And because of the duties that she has to perform, she becomes a good cook. She becomes really good at having sex. She becomes really good at taking care of the house. Now that same girl, she gets freed. Hey. Hi. Hey. Boy, you fine. I'ma slow down. You slow down when the boys come. All right. I love this shit. I love when they do this shit. This shit is sexy as hell. Do you got room for one more? You got room for, oh, well, you know, I'm a little thick and your bike a little small, so we're going to pass on that today. But it's good to see you. Anyway, back to my analogy. So, she gets freed. She gets released. You think she gonna sit there and talk about all the benefits of her abduction? Well, you know, I was abducted, but let's talk about the positive. I did become a good cook and I can give some good head. That is irrelevant to the fact that you was held hostage and you was made a slave against your will. We don't want to hear about the positive. I want to hear about the obvious negative consequences of that. That's how I feel about Watchtower. I'm not about to sit up here and try to emphasize the fact that, oh, Watchtower helped me become a good speaker, and Watchtower helped me to be a more of a people's person because I had to preach to them, and no, that is irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. Watchtower stole our lives. We have a right to be upset, and can't nobody tell us that we don't. Fuck Watchtower. And any benefit Watchtower gave us, we could have got that outside of Watchtower. You want to be a good speaker? Join Toastmasters. Join the debate team. Watchtower strip away all your opportunities and chances, and then they want to take credit for the little bit of good that they do. The little bit of good that they do is not outstanding. Anything that Watchtower ever gave you, you could have got outside of Watchtower. You think you a good speaker just because of Watchtower? How would you know? You couldn't join no organizations at school. You couldn't do no extracurricular shit. How would you know? You probably would be a better speaker because of Watchtower. Think about that. Oh, well, Watchtower kept me moral and safe. How do you know that on your own you wouldn't have been a moral person? You know how many people I meet that don't know nothing about Jehovah, but they not hoes, they not murderers, they're not drug addicts. They're good people that they just living their life. You probably would have been a better person if you hadn't been a part of Watchtower. You probably would have been less judgmental. You probably would have got a better education. You probably would be making more money. Your marriage probably would be happier. Think about that. Maybe Watchtower is the reason why your marriage messed up. Think about that. You didn't even get to really choose the person you wanted to be with. You was pushed to be with somebody that, ordinarily speaking, without Watchtower influence, without the influence of your parents, you probably would have never picked your spouse. You probably would have been happier picking the person that you know you compatible with. Think about that. Don't come at me talk about the positive about Watchtower. Ain't no positives with Watchtower right now. I'm mad at Watchtower. I'm going to be mad at Watchtower. Can't nobody convince me otherwise. That's just how I'm rolling these days. And if you're going through the same process, kudos to you. Be upset. It's okay. It's normal. I'm amped up. I'm gonna go. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Thank you. I love y'all. Regardless of where you at in this whole process, I love you. I'm here for you. I support you and I understand you. Okay? Take care. Peace.